Hey Insider, we got a special guest joining us today. He's recently graduated from our LMA course, and he'll be sharing with us in terms of his experience on board LMA, how he found the whole journey, and everything in between. So, Odane, it's a pleasure to have you. Let's start with the introductory question. What's your full name, where you currently based, and what you're currently up to in terms of occupation?
Okay, my name is Odane Harding, and I am based in Toronto, Canada, the east side of Toronto, which is Scarborough. What I'm currently up to is I work at a public transportation company called the TTC, Toronto Transit Commission, during the nights, which is tough in itself. But then I kind of double down and I am a real estate agent during the day.
Okay, so we got a hustler on board right now.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Let's rewind time right now, Dane. Before you had come across the LMA course, before you've come across essentially our work, if you were to just give us a glimpse, what was actually happening in your life back then that was causing you pain or issues in your life? What was you experiencing?
Oh man, I was experiencing I would say blocks due to past traumas. I wouldn't say my mom was extremely tough on me as a kid, but she would always say things like, "Oh, you got 99%. Why not perfect?" Um, and that was like a theme. It kept coming. I'd always get like maybe 90, 80, 99, 95%, and that would continue to come up. Another thing I was going through, still kind of, but it's getting better, is rocky times with my girlfriend. And I mean, with that in itself, it's tough to live with a person who, and I'm talking about myself too. It's tough to like when there's clashing and there's a child in the house, and it's like, what do you do? Do you try to make it work for the sake of your child? But in the long term, your child's gonna grow up and leave the house, and then you guys are still stuck. So you have to make it work for yourself, and if it's not gonna work for yourself, it's best to move on. Um, but that has improved since taking LMA.
Okay. So do you recall essentially how you came across our work and what essentially made you want to enroll in LMA?
Your message just resonated with me. Um, while I'm at work, I shouldn't even say this, but while I'm at work, I was on YouTube often,
Okay.
and I'd see your ad pop up, and I think it popped up not too many times before I got interested, and I clicked the link, and I think it was the free masterclass,
Mm.
um, but I didn't jump in right away. I kind of saved the link and I put it in my drafts in my email so that I wouldn't lose it. Um, but something kept drawing me there. I clicked it. I watched it while I was at a cottage, and it just made sense to me. Usually with programs, I wouldn't jump in. I would kind of hesitate and say, you know what, not now, not now. But with the message that you put out there and where you were coming from and how authentic your message was, I decided to jump in.
Okay. So you're watching the webinar, the free secrets to reinvent yourself, the free webinar essentially, and
Yes.
you came across the LMA through that webinar. So if you were to be honest, did you have any form of doubts or fears before making that decision for yourself to invest in yourself? And what ended up putting that fears to rest for you?
Um, I wouldn't say I have a fear of investing in myself. Um, my fear comes from, I guess, the taking action afterwards. Um, as a realtor, real estate agent, you kind of have to continue to improve and take courses. So I kind of have that mindset, but not everything resonates. There's so many courses, there's so many mentors out there that I could have put my energy into,
Mm.
but I haven't. Like I haven't ever tried to sign up for. Can I say names?
Yeah, sure.
Like I haven't signed up for Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, and those are probably things that maybe I should, but I just haven't. There
Mm.
wasn't a matching of energy, I guess, and where you were coming from, and maybe because you're a young guy too, um, I kind of just felt like, you know what, this person has something. I can see it in him, and um, I want some of the juice too.
Okay. So you end up committing to this journey, the LMA process. So as soon
Yes.
as you got involved with our work and our community, what would you say ended up making you feel the happiest about the decision as soon as you start getting involved?
Um, I would say the network of everyone in the Facebook community, and how everyone's so supportive and so willing to put themselves out there. Um, I come from originally a place where um, I always thought negative about therapy. And my girlfriend's been urging me to do it, but I feel like you kind of get that in the community of LMA.
Mm.
So that was where I guess I was the first initial sense of me feeling happy and feeling like it was worth it to join.
So you initially, I suppose, resisted the almost like therapy, you say, as in like opening up. Yeah. Opening up to
Oh,
others. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So what made you want to open up to others then in the LMA community?
Um, I would say just seeing everyone else doing it. And to be honest, I haven't fully opened up, as you know, but I have definitely made strides, and I'm getting closer to the level where I can just be an open book.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, going from somebody who resisted that to trying that, of course, we're not expecting you to be a fully open book straight away, but kudos to you. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that, by the way, in terms of people join and they do resist opening up to people they don't know. Of course, events sometimes can cultivate that belief. So you ended up essentially trying out though, and you got involved in the community, of course. In terms of the LMA method itself, as in the course itself, which module would you say, Odane, you found the most challenging, but in a good way? Because of course, the biggest growth comes from the challenging stuff. Which
Right.
module was the hardest for you in a good way?
Mm. I can't remember the number. It was the one where there were a lot of exercises and like writing the letter and from your from
Mm,
your future self and writing the letter, like I don't know if it was an apology letter, but a letter to the person that hurt you, um,
mm.
or that caused trauma. So I think that was the toughest one to go through, but it probably accelerated growth the most.
Right. So we too of LMA, beautiful state activator. Event is an event. That section,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, it's quite a challenging one. So you end up going through, week two, which is all about, of course, releasing and so forth. What sort of benefits did you start experiencing in your life after progressing through the modules?
Um, Being more calm, and it has a lot to do, I think, with the journal, with the questions that you ask in the journal, the daily, I guess, journal. So
Mm,
just asking yourself those questions and thinking about how your day went and thinking about how to start the day definitely helped. There have been times where, um, like the other day, me and my girlfriend were in an argument, and I stepped outside, and within maybe like 30 seconds, I was like, what am I upset for? There's nothing for me to be upset for. She's allowed to be upset. I shouldn't be upset that she's upset. So I just took a breath. I went back inside, and it kind of like settled the situation. It was no issue. And before, I would have probably held on to the anger for a longer period of time, probably as long as I could. But now it's like it doesn't even make sense. So that's one thing I got from LMA. Other changes, just trying to understand, because I know I don't fully have it yet, but trying to understand that people have their views, and it doesn't make sense to try to change their views because they have a different lens, and there's nothing you can do to change their lens. I have my own personal lens, and they'll never probably see where I'm coming from. I probably never see where they're coming from. But at the end of the day, the facts are the facts. It's just how you interpret them. So um, that has definitely helped in terms of not arguing. Like it doesn't make sense to try to beat someone down to believe what you're saying.
Mm. So you're essentially saying you was in a bit of a conflict or whatever, maybe with your girlfriend, and a part of you just wanted to just get some space and just detach, and you was able to go in a little bit more, I suppose, from a different state, let's say, and you were able to just let go sooner. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Somebody watching right now might definitely resonate with that. I mean, we've all been in conflict with somebody in our life. So what realization helped you to understand that's something you can do in your life, as in make a new decision in your life?
Um, maybe it's meditation, which I've been doing from your, I guess it's a daily ritual.
Mm.
Um, but I
Future self,
couldn't. Sorry. Yeah.
the future
Yeah.
self meditation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And just the breathing exercise in the beginning of it kind of just settles you down. And you mentioned it in saying in doing the breath work, like the first time I did it, the first few times for sure, I felt like my body was tingling, and
Mm.
I was like, "Whoa, like this is different." Um, so I knew that you knew what you were talking about just from that, and I've seen a difference from just doing the breathing. Because I won't lie, a lot of times I'll do the breath work, and I do it usually after work. I'm so tired from work, and I do it in a laying down position. I end up falling asleep like halfway through. And
Well,
it's really
during the breath work.
no, not during the breath
Oh,
work.
afterwards. Afterwards.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. Quite common though.
Yeah,
I
is
think
it?
a lot of people have fallen asleep during meditation.
Oh yeah, yeah. Someone else mentioned it. I said it in one of the lives in Facebook,
Yeah.
and someone mentioned like, yeah, I fall asleep all the time too.
Yeah, me too, actually. So sometimes, by the way, that takes a lot. You're saying you're not an open book, but that takes a lot of vulnerabilities for you to admit that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, you're saying the future self visualization helped you maybe. At the same time, you're saying that the journaling and just essentially detaching. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
kind of
having,
like
yeah.
watch it. I can't remember the term that you used, but it's like jumping out of your body and looking at yourself and seeing
Mm,
yourself in the moment. And when you can do that, you can really, I guess, you can analyze the situation for what it is, and you can see whether you're making the right choices or not, and if you're out of line or if you're within your bounds. And that if you can do that, you can definitely change a lot of situations, I feel, in your life.
nice. So, having now gone through this process, this is going to be final question. What advice would you give to somebody who may be considering in giving LMA a try? Having now gone through this, what advice would you give to this person right now?
Um, I would say jump in. Um, it's so much more like this is, as it says, it's life mastery, and it goes from dealing with your childhood and the blocks that you may have from your childhood all the way into um, being productive in your life.
Mm,
And I've listened to seminars and things of that nature, but this is one where you actually have to implement what you're learning.
mm,
So in doing you learn a lot more than just listening and not applying things. So the way that you structure this course is definitely it definitely would work. And uh, even if you do, like, if you listen and you do the exercise and you don't revisit it, you still kind of form that one groove, as you say.
mm.
And eventually over time, if you keep doing it, you keep going through the courses, you will improve, and probably change your whole life by doing that. So I would say give it a try, just based on the fact that you have to well, you don't have to do the exercises, but if you do them,
Mm.
you'll see the results.
Awesome. Odane, well, firstly, it's been a pleasure taking you through the process. And, like I was saying during graduation, it's just a new beginning, right? And like you say, is life mastery. It's a process that over time you begin to deepen the grooves and you really understand these concepts deeper and deeper. So I can't wait to see the person you become, the more you commit to this. And for the rest of you watching this video, just want to say, hope you enjoyed it and hope you got the value after in this video as well. And as always, follow your heart and take action. And let's create the life you're truly born to live. Take care.